The show you're about to hear is meant for mature audiences.
Who cares?
If you're looking to learn something or grow as a human being, you should probably keep searching. Snowflake.
Damn. Oh, that's fucked up.
This is as unfiltered, raw, and real it's gonna get when it comes to talking about anything and everything with your hosts, James, Colin, and Jess. This is Simply Uncensored.
Okay, so I want to add a few things before we get into the official story that was given out. So after he was shot, JFK was taken to the hospital, was announced dead. But here's the weird fucking thing about this entire situation that will lead into some of these conspiracy theories. So when they first enter Elm Street, the Secret Service was called off. So there's supposed to be two Secret Service agents that are walking directly next to the motorcade. They were called off. There's actually a film. I watched a film where his car entered the street, and as soon as they entered Elm Street, you watch as the two Secret Service agents next to the car that were walking throw their hands up and look back like, what the fuck? So they were called off the motorcade and then entered Elm Street. I mean, they're doing their job. They were told to leave the side.
So it's not that weird.
Well, it is weird though, because they are supposed to be next to it. So why were they called off? Which is really fucking weird. So they were called off.
Why were they called off?
Yeah, they literally, you watch them throw their fucking hands up like, what? Like, this is the orders, so they, of course they follow it. So after that, the Secret Service takes him to the nearest hospital. In the hospital, he gets taken out. He was officially announced dead in the hospital. Well, at this point, the Secret Service put his body in a casket and then illegally stole JFK and took him to Washington. So Texas law states that the autopsy and investigation must be done in Texas.
Well, federal law supersedes that, doesn't it?
No, there's not really a federal law to it. It's still, someone got shot there. They're supposed to. I don't think there's a federal law on it.
I guess what I'm saying is, it's the president and the Secret Service can kind of just do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, but they still shouldn't have. Because they were fucking up an entire crime scene pretty much by, taking them directly to DC. And then another weird thing, which I'll get into later, is that the Secret Service and the government had someone that had never done an autopsy before in his entire life do it on the president.
Really?
Out of all the physicians and fucking just these insane medical doctors they have working for the government, they brought in someone that has never, ever done an autopsy to do this autopsy on the president. Fucked.
Sketchy.
Yeah, that's fucked.
All right, so now let's get into the actual fucking story. What happened? Lee Harvey Oswald.
Wait. Do we want to talk about the FBI investigation first?
If you want, go for it.
I think that happened. Yeah, we'll just do it. All right. This is really quick. FBI investigation. It's basically everything that I just parroted. This came out December 9th, 1963. So not less than a month after the shooting. Maybe a couple weeks or so. Anyways, FBI stated 3 bullets were fired during the assassination. The Warren Commission agreed with the FBI investigation that said there were 3 shots, but they ended up disagreeing with the FBI report on which shots hit Kennedy and which shots hit Governor Connolly. So basically, the FBI report claimed that the first shot hit Kennedy. The second shot hit the second shot missed Kennedy and hit the Governor Connolly, and the third shot hit President Kennedy in the head, which killed him. That's what the FBI said. In contrast, the Warren Commission concluded that one shot completely missed. The first shot completely missed, or actually no, it's not known which of the shots, but one of them completely missed. One of them hit Kennedy and then hit the Governor Connolly, and then the final one hit Kennedy in the head, killing him. Frankly, I'm more to believe the Warren Commission, that one completely missed.
That's what I believe. Is that the official report? Was the Warren Commission, or was the FBI? Was it two separate official reports?
It's basically that. Basically, two separate reports. The FBI's was more of an investigation. The Warren report was more of a report based on the evidence. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. But yeah, basically two stories
Okay.
of the same event.
So here we are starting fucking two different fucking stories, all from the beginning.
Yep. Don't even have a single truth.
And then
So-
who gets blamed for all this? Now we can talk about Lee Harvey Oswald.
Lee Harvey Oswald. Where's the boo effect?
I got you. Hold up.
Boo. Get him out
Oh,
of
we gotta-
here.
Oh yeah, we got a boo.
Boo.
Actually, no. Let me take that back.
No. Lee Harvey
little
Oswald's a
fuck.
dick.
Okay.
He should have been
Yeah.
taken out.
He's a
All
savior.
right. So Lee Harvey Oswald. Colin, tell us more about Lee Harvey Oswald.
All right. So, Lee Harvey Oswald, he's a Marxist, which puts him on the extreme far left of the political spectrum. Past communism, past socialism, past liberalism, past all that good stuff. Anyways, I got some notes on him. He joined the Marines when he was 17, right out of high school. Apparently, he got into a lot of trouble when he was in the Marines. He ended up being court-martialed 3 times. The first time, he shot himself in the elbow with a .22 pistol. Okay, real smart guy we're
Nice.
dealing with here. Yeah. Second time, he he wanted to fight the sergeant who he thought was responsible for his punishment after he shot himself with a pistol. He ended up being wrong, so he fought the wrong guy. Ended up getting court-martialed for that. And the third time, which was the kicker, which got him kicked out, was he got in trouble for just randomly firing his rifle off into the jungle. He would just go out there and just start boom, 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 boom. Just come back.
He sounds like a fucking
So,
like
yeah.
mentally insane motherfucker.
Right, he does. Yeah, no, he later in his life he defected to the Soviet Union, which means on Halloween 1959 he went to the United States Embassy in Moscow and said that he is not a U.S. citizen anymore and wants to be a citizen of Soviet Union.
Wait, so when he killed the president, he wasn't even a citizen of the United States?
No, he was, because
He couldn't renounce it?
Some things went through. Either he couldn't renounce it or the Soviet Union wasn't accepting him, something like that.
Weird.
Or maybe, I can't remember, because he went back and he was literally, like, he sent his wife and children, or no, he was bringing them from the Soviet Union back to America. So he must have been an American citizen when he committed the assassination, quote unquote.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
All right, so I think at this point, we're probably gonna get into to part 2 here. So part 2, we're gonna get into some conspiracy theories, which is what I'm actually really excited for.
Yes, sir. Conspiracy theories, boys.
That's the good part of this, because I think there's like between 1,000 and 2,000 books written about this conspiracy. It's one of the most widely,
Yeah,
talked about conspiracies.
definitely.
All right, boys. So let's talk about some conspiracies here.
Just dive right in.
I want to start with the Secret Service agent. So basically, this theory says that JFK wasn't killed by fucking Oswald. I don't think we talked about this in the first fucking part either. Oswald was in a library, in the corner library behind JFK.
Oh,
I thought it was in a middle school.
No, it was in a school book depository. It was basically like a tall warehouse that had a bunch of
Oh.
floors.
Yeah, so he was in the sixth floor in that, and he shot JFK from behind.
Ended up being about a 250-foot shot. Anyways.
Yeah.
Nice shot.
So
I know,
we'll
right?
talk more about him in a minute.
It's
I think that deserves a round of applause.
okay.
Well, yeah,
That's-
not to mention these
that's-
3 fucking shots, especially if he could hit
Yeah.
them
Rapid
twice.
fire.
Rapid fire, one
Yep.
back after another. Which is almost fucking impossible.
You could argue that both of the ones that hit were kill shots.
Yeah.
Directly through the neck and through the spine. You might die from that.
Well, blowing your head off, you're definitely
Yeah,
gonna die. So
yeah,
that's
Icing on the cake.
No, but anyways, yeah, we can get a round of applause for someone hitting a 250-foot shot, just not if it's at the president's head. Okay, that's the one stipulation.
Oh my god.
All right.
It's a little
Continue,
funny.
James.
So, yeah.
Secret Service agent.
So Oswald, I don't think he fucking did it. So one of the conspiracies are that it was a Secret Service agent. So on the cars that carry the president and the ones that follow the president, there is a rifle that stays in the car. It's locked, loaded, and ready.
Ready to fire.
Yep. So there's a bunch of eyewitnesses that say there was a Secret Service agent. His name is actually William Greer, which was directly behind JFK's car that had an assault rifle. Now, it is very well probable that he did have an assault rifle in his hand because there was one in the car. It was locked and loaded and ready to shoot. But eyewitnesses can't remember if he was aiming it towards JFK or not. Now, the report that Williams wrote after the event happened claimed that when the shots were fired, he grabbed the rifle, aimed it back towards Oswald, and I don't think he fired anything. He might have... No, he didn't fire anything. Aimed it back towards Oswald. But what he says is that he grabbed the rifle after the car was already underneath the overpass.
Oh, so way down the road.
Yeah, way down the road. Which
Yep.
isn't right. Doesn't go along with the eyewitness reports by any means. And then at the same time, a lot of people on the road said they smelt gunpowder. Now, the thing that really gets me is the wind was flowing like towards JFK. It was going the opposite direction that they were heading. So if Oswald was behind them, 6 floors up, how would anybody on the street level smell gunpowder? So that's where this theory
Yeah,
kind
that's
of comes
weird.
in, that it has to be someone on street level for people to smell gunpowder.
To that point, that people smelling gunpowder could also go with the next theory that we'll go into after we finish this one, though.
Well, I mean, I don't think this is plausible, but I mean, at the same time, okay, so the Secret Service agents stole JFK. I also want to
Yes.
point out that apparently during the ride over on Air Force One, would it still be known as Air Force One? Even if
Yeah,
well, yeah,
it
it would.
is.
Well, actually,
Air Force
Johnson was
.5.
Johnson was on board, so he was sworn in on the plane as well. So on board Air Force One, apparently when they got to D.C., when they went to do the autopsy, there was apparent surgery on his head, which is kind of fucked up. So under Secret Service watch, someone performed surgery on the president's head before the autopsy.
Really?
So now we have 3 different accounts where Secret Service is kind of getting fucked up. One, they're called off away from the president before Elm Street. 2, we have eyewitnesses say that one of them was holding a gun. His testimony and reports does not match any of the eyewitnesses' points and is just kind of outrageous and not really true, so they can't really, depict if it's true or not. And then 3, the Secret Service steals the body illegally, takes it aboard Air Force One, possibly does surgery, and then takes it to DC where a doctor that has never done an autopsy before does one with like 500 fucking Secret Service agents in the fucking room yelling at him at the same time.
Well, I did see. We can revisit this in about 11 years because I think the autopsy report becomes unclassified in 2029.
Ooh.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, I saw that, so we'll have to bring it back in 11 years.
Yep. We'll be back.
So I mean that's pretty much it. Which I mean it makes sense, but here's what definitely deters it for me. So there's also a lot of eyewitness reports that say that the gunshot came from the grassy knoll, which was on the president's right side, up on top of a hill. Yeah, forward right, up on top of a hill. Now, in a lot of these videos you watch, as soon as he gets shot, there's policemen and like people running towards this grassy knoll that are supposedly trying to catch the shooter. Now, I understand, regular civilians running towards the grassy knoll might be like, okay, they're running away from the gunshots. But the policemen running towards the grassy knoll is like, the fuck? Okay, so obviously, I think someone over in that corner shot the president. And then if you watch the film, I think he got hit in the front right part of his head, and you watch as his body just fucking flies backwards.
Okay, this is a good talking point before we get into this. If you want to look into the grassy knoll theory, Google search Badge Man. This is a picture of the exact moment that JFK was shot, and it's in black and white, so it's super grainy. But if you look closely in the upper right hand corner, you see this little blur. Well, apparently if you enhance that, you get this grainy black and white image that does kind of look like a person holding a gun.
I feel like if the Secret Service or CIA is going to kill the president, they could find an easier way to do it than in front of a bunch of fucking people, in broad daylight.
Listen, that's why they wanted to do this. They wanted to do it in the most brutal way possible. Well, that's how some theories would say it, that was on purpose. That was completely on purpose to do it in the most brutal way possible.
Wait, I don't see that in the picture, so I don't understand
Just...
what you're... Because when you first sent me this picture, I didn't understand it. Where is that guy? So I now see the close-up.
What do you mean?
But where is that guy in the first picture that you
looking.
sent me?
In the first picture, I believe, is in the top right. Let me take a look. Wait.
That's a tree.
I'm looking. I see a tree.
Top right.
No, I think... Shit, boys, where is it? To be honest, I don't know. I'm gonna have to Google it and get back to you.
Yeah, okay, I'm kind of curious.
Damn
about
it,
that.
Colin.
Okay, anyways, so yeah, there's definitely a fucking shooter up in the trees here.
In the trees? Oh, can you see it?
Yeah, it's like over the fence. All right. Anyways, so this.
All right, I got it.
Do you?
Apparently in that Badge Man is he's right near the. Let me see. Where's fucking Discord? Sorry. Near the square face. The square-faced wall. Do you see it?
Where the stairs are?
It's like bright. Yeah, the top of the stairs on the right-hand side. It's right in there. Badge Man is supposed to be right in there. I think that...
Definitely don't see it, but that's cool. All right, moving on.
I don't know.
Moving on.
This is... I don't know exactly where it is, but Google Badge Man picture. It's an enhanced part of somewhere in that picture. That's all I know.
I didn't see shit
but
either.
I'll
Whatever.
check it out
I'll
later.
look into a different day when I'm not so
It's
goddamn
in,
tired.
you gotta look at the close
Whatever.
up. I don't
We're
know.
moving on.
I don't
We're
know.
definitely moving on.
Okay, I tried.
So, the Badgeman theory states that there was someone over that fence. And
Yeah.
that's where okay. I don't, oh god, dude, I don't want to get into this right now. This is so fucking intense, and I don't know if I'm alive enough to get into all this. It's
We're listening,
it's
James.
getting
We're
so
listening.
late, and we're coming
Yeah.
at you. Like, okay, if you're listening to this right now, like, it's late as fuck. It's like 10 o'clock, but I go to sleep at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And I haven't even told James the bad news that I have.
Why? What's the bad news?
About 10 minutes of audio file got fucked up.
Well,
It was the part where you're telling
you
your
weren't-
story.
you weren't
though,
really
so
talking.
it's-
That's no big
sorry.
deal. All right. So,
All right, James, let's go.
E. Howard Hunt. You ready for this, boys? Because I'm not ready for this.
Let's hear it, James.
E.
Let's hear
Howard
it, let's
Hunt
hear it.
was a known.
Yeah, this is gonna be a lot of info.
Yeah, this
coming
is
at
a
you, so-
lot of info. E. Howard Hunt, a known CIA assassin. So, supposedly he was in Dallas at this time. Guys, I don't want to do this right now.
Dun, dun, dun. What is wrong,
I am
James?
so
What's
just
wrong?
out of it. This is so much information. Okay, so the
We could come back to it, like tomorrow or something,
Oh god, I don't want to do it tomorrow.
or Saturday.
Okay, so
We'll fucking get it then.
Hunt worked under Richard Bissell. So you guys remember Richard Bissell from
From
previous
previous,
talking
yeah.
about the Bay of Pigs, where JFK fired his ass.
So this is all
Yeah,
get back scheme.
so that's a big part. So Hunt worked under Richard Bissell for quite a long time during the CIA. Now, at the same time, Hunt was also working for Nixon. And get this, he was also working for George Bush Sr.
Oh,
Bum bum bum.
Okay, so here's how this all connects. So I'm going to start with George Bush Sr. here because Bush did it. Bush killed JFK. Let me explain how.
Bush killed what?
Bush killed JFK. Not himself. Bush did it.
And that's
This is
before he did 9/11.
9/11.
What?
Bush did it.
Wait, we're talking about George Bush here.
George Bush Sr.
So not 9/11 George
Not
Bush.
9/11 George Bush.
Dead
Okay.
Georgie.
Different Georgie.
So-
all right.
During a memo from Hoover, stated that George Bush was a part of the CIA. Now, JFK was trying to dismantle the CIA during his entire presidency. He wanted the CIA gone because the CIA, he knew it was fucking corrupt and needed to be gone because he fucking hated it. I don't blame him. So, George Bush Sr. worked in the CIA, worked for the CIA. He ended up buying an offshore oil company called Zapata. Zapata Petroleum.
Zapata.
So, Zapata Petroleum was based near Cuba, and a lot of times the CIA would send supplies down to Zapata, Cuba, to help people during this fucking Cuban Missile Crisis and blah, 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 sending supplies and whatnot. But it was like ships disguised as Zapata ships bringing supplies for the oil company.
Oh.
So, George Bush Sr. has this weird habit. So, during the war, he had 2 planes. He named the first one Barbara 1 after his wife, named the second one Barbara 2 after his wife. This supposed ship that was undercover CIA ship, guess what it was named? Barbara 3.
Barbara 3. Wow.
So this CIA ship was named Barbara 3. Now I wonder, who would name a ship Barbara 3? George Bush.
Bush. It's
I don't know.
Bush.
Okay, so now this is where Hunt gets involved. So down in Cuba, Hunt was in charge of this group that was sent down to Cuba to overthrow the Cubans, overthrow the Cuban government. The operation of this undercover CIA mission was called Zapata. The Zapata operation. Now, who the fuck would name an operation like that? There just happens to be an oil company named Zapata run by George W. Bush. You can look that up, folks. He actually did own a fucking oil company called Zapata. Now, this operation, which Hunt was in charge of, was called the Zapata operation. Hunt is tied in with Bush. Okay, got that out of the way. Now, Hunt, he was caught. Well,
cunt.
He was caught after the Watergate scandal. Now, those of you guys that know your history, the Watergate scandal was under Nixon. He was actually charged for breaking it in to the Watergate Hotel under the authority of Nixon. So now, Hunt is tied to Nixon and George W. Bush. Now, here's what Nixon had to say. Nixon said, stop, telling the people looking into Hunt and all that. Nixon said, stop looking. You will uncover the whole Bay of Pigs thing. Now, who the fuck was in charge of the Bay of Pigs? Kennedy.
Uh-oh.
So a lot of people believe that the Bay of Pigs things was code word for Kennedy's assassination. Now, if you people later asked Nixon how he remembered that he found out Kennedy was dead, Nixon can't remember, and he told 6 or 7 different fucking stories.
Oh dear.
So, I like to think that Nixon knew about Kennedy's fucking thing. That's like, 9/11 when people told Bush that, that 9/11 basically happened, and the look on his face was like, yeah, I already knew, and went back to telling the story to the fucking kids. Yeah, this was this. Obviously, it's the same fucking thing. Okay, so Nixon is tied to Hunt.
Same thing with Nixon, eh? All
Nixon is now telling people not to look into the whole Bay of Pigs thing. Those are actually his words. His words were, and I quote, "Stop looking, you will uncover the whole Bay of Pigs things." Said by Nixon.
Oof.
Okay, so
Ooh.
now
That's a real oof.
if you look at George Bush Sr., his dad, Prescott Bush, was actually working for the Nazis. Now, before you start thinking, okay, the Nazis killed fucking JFK, no, the Nazis have nothing to do with killing JFK. It's just a coincidence that Prescott Bush was working for the Nazis. Just a little fun fact. So, Prescott Bush backed Nixon. He gave Nixon fucking just millions and millions of fucking dollars to fund his campaign. So Nixon and Prescott Bush are pretty good friends. Not only was Nixon or fucking Prescott Bush backing Nixon, but Prescott was also a fucking mentor for Nixon. So these people were obviously pretty fucking close. So now you have Nixon, who is really good friends with Prescott Bush, and his son, George Bush, where all these people have ties with Hunt. Now you may be asking, how the hell does this put Hunt at the scene of JFK? Now, before we started this podcast, we were listening, and there was an audio file of Hunt that was sent to his son. We listened to this audio file, and basically what Hunt says is he confesses to not only knowing about the JFK assassination, he claimed that fucking God, what was his VP's name?
Uh,
Johnson.
Lyndon.
He
Yeah,
claimed
Lyndon
that
B.
Johnson was actually the head of it. Well, was involved, along
Bum,
with the
bum,
CIA.
bum.
And actually, there's a lot of accounts that saying that there was CIA involvement. Now, it's just if you think about it. Okay, so JFK was trying to dismantle the CIA, which is Richard Bissell, Alan Dulles, which is also a CIA director, who was also really close friends with Prescott Bush, her and Herbert Hoover, also fired by the CIA. So you have
All of
the
them got
CIA trying to be dismantled by JFK. You have not Prescott, fucking why am I forgetting the goddamn VP's name again?
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Fuck. Then you have too many fucking names, dude. I swear to God.
I know.
So then you have Johnson, who is the VP, who wanted to be the president. So he has a reason to fucking kill JFK because, well, he wants to be the fucking president. You have the CIA that wants to kill JFK because he's trying to dismantle the CIA. And then you have Hunt, a registered fucking, well, not registered, but a known fucking CIA assassin that knows all these fucking people, that are friends with all these people, that have worked for all these people, claims to be involved in the JFK assassination,
Yikes.
and that Johnson was involved. Boom. Bombshell dropped.
Boom.
Boom, boom.
What do you guys think?
It seems. I mean, that's a far reach, but I mean, it all links together, so it could happen. Could have happened like that.
Well, I mean, we know
man.
that there was a shooter over on the grassy knoll.
Well, we don't know.
There was plenty of reports,
Officially.
eyewitness reports, that say that they saw shots come from the grassy knoll. You have the Badgeman theory that says there was a person in there. So if you look into the Badgeman theory, it says there was a person in the grassy knoll. Now, who that person was, I believe it was Hunt. Now, who has the power to overthrow the Secret Service? Coming into our first conspiracy here, the Secret Service agent that may have killed him. Who has the power to, 1, call off the Secret Service, 2, have the Secret Service illegally steal the president's body, bringing him back to D.C. where they could do surgery and have a bullshit autopsy done?
Damn.
Who has the
We're
power
talking
to
about
fucking
Lyndon
do
B.
that?
Johnson, aren't we?
Oh, well, Johnson, Nixon, Prescott Bush, George Bush Sr., and the CIA have that fucking power. You're damn
Yep.
fucking right they do.
Damn. I mean, is that the conspiracy you really believe in? Is
for
that
sure.
the one you think happened?
Because, one, if you look at this fucking film, you can see that when he was shot, he fucking gets slammed backwards. Like, he was shot in the front. It's a fucking given.
That is something I will argue with because I believe the distance of where his head moves from between scene or frame 312 and 313 is only possible if he were to get hit in the back of the head with a bullet.
Well, maybe...
To me, it looks.
What if
to me,
that
it
was
looks
when
like
he got
he's
hit the
getting
second
literally
time?
punched in the head.
What if that little jolt
No,
forward
that's-
was when he got hit in the neck?
No, that's the kill shot. No, the one that he gets hit in the neck, you can see it before.
But you don't think if
You
you got
can see
hit in the
things
neck,
are
people
going on.
wouldn't freak out then? And start running around? Because everyone was still
Well-
calm as fuck after the first two shots.
Because it was the first one. It was the first one. People had no idea what was going on. Even people in the car. Even the guy that got hit, I'm sure he had no... Senator Connolly sitting in front of him, I'm sure he had no idea what was going on until he felt, like, pain. I think the bullet ended up in, like, his thigh or something.
Okay. Here's another
Everybody
thing.
was confused.
So I was looking at a couple documentaries, and the gun and the bullets that Oswald were using was a
Yeesh.
full metal jacket bullet, which basically
Yeesh.
went directly through JFK. Now, if
Yeesh.
one went directly through his fucking, neck and all the way into Connolly.
Mhm.
How the fuck would one to the skull explode? This bullet is not designed to explode on impact. This Full Metal Jackal bullet is designed to go straight through. It would have created a fucking hole in his skull. So the one
Yep.
that destroyed his fucking skull and just made it fucking explode was a different kind of
Explosive bullet.
fucking bullet.
Well, I think isn't your head like in a way pressurized?
Yeah, James. I'm not claiming to know too much about bullet dynamics, but when a bullet hits something super hard, like a head, and then goes into a cavity, it changes directions. And what ended up happening was Kennedy's head was down, it was angled down, and it hit the top of his head, which means it didn't go actually in. It kind of just blew a giant, like, cavern pretty much through his head. Even though there was still like a tiny hole and then a big hole, it's the tiny hole was made and that cracked the skull, and then when it went out, it just had so much velocity that it just.
But we're all on the same page that there was 2 shooters, right?
Man,
Sure.
I
I'm
don't
down.
know.
Okay.
I'm not on the same page of Harvey Oswald did it all, but I think all the shots came from behind him.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna point out that there was 2 shooters. So the autopsy.
Okay.
When you look at the autopsy report and you look at the holes that were drawn and stated by the autopsy, does not match up and is not physically possible for Oswald to hit him at that angle and to create a hole in both sides of JFK's head in those spots. It was possible for it to be the Secret Service agent coming back on the back left side. It was basically
Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about the kill shot?
the kill shot. The kill shot went from either his, if you want to say it came from the back, it came from his back left and then went out his front right.
Yes. I don't.
Like
I'm
top front
trying to
right.
look at it right now.
That's what the autopsy says. Either that or the shot
all
came
the whole-
from his front right and went out his back left. Which I think
Yeah.
is more possible. Because of so much evidence that I've already fucking stated. The people running up the fucking hill to go and catch this fucking person, including the cops that were running. The eyewitness reports saying that they saw someone shooting in the grassy knoll. The smell of gunpowder on street level. Now, the wind was blowing backwards, like away from the way the motorcade was heading. So the grassy knoll is in the front left. Well, guess what? You shoot up there, that gunpowder is now coming down in the street and all the way down the street. So everyone on the street can now smell gunpowder.
Also, I think I saw that in the grassy knoll theory that there's a pretty clear exit that
Yeah.
could have been or would have been taken. I think through like a
There's a train
tunnel
tracks right there.
down. Yeah, and then it leads to a like a big. There was like a, I don't know what you call it, where like a basin, I guess, and there was like a cage that like had a section of it cut out where somebody could fit through.
All right. I want to add one more thing that just includes to this theory. I was watching a film where this guy, okay, so the guy was deaf. So it was weird. So the guy was deaf and said he was on the other side of the fence where he claims he saw the shooter. So what he claims he saw was a man in a like dressed up coat, like tie and everything, like jacket coat, aiming a rifle over the fence. He says that as soon as he took the shot, he came over, ran over by one of the like electrical boxes for the railroad, dismantled the gun, threw it in a bag, threw it to some other guy that then got on a fucking like train car, and then he ran off.
Oh boy.
And then
Damn,
this
I
deaf
mean,
guy claims that he went to the local authorities and tried to, explain to them what happened, but because he was deaf, they weren't taking him seriously and told him to get out because they had more important things to take care of. They didn't want to take the time and sit there and actually listen to the guy. Well,
you can't really listen to him. He's deaf.
listen to him act it out and fucking, I don't know, write it down on a piece of paper.
Damn, poor guy got they didn't even give a fuck
And then
about
the
him.
funny thing is, you saying he saw a guy in a coat. Well, if you look up pictures of Hunt, he's always got a trench coat. Nice, well-dressed fucking CIA assassin.
Maybe it
Howard
was Hunt.
Hunt. Remember that name. Worked under Bissell. Got fired. Worked under fucking, what's this guy name? Alan Dulles, CIA director. Got fired. Worked under George Bush Sr.
Bush
Worked
was a
under
part
Nixon.
of it. I can't
I know.
believe that. That's crazy.
It wasn't really Bush that actually probably.
I bet Trump had something to do with it
It
too.
was most likely Johnson. He probably wanted the presidency, and he was willing to kill to get it. He's like, all right, fuck JFK.
That's pretty
Let's
fucked
fucking
up.
murder him, and then gets in with the CIA to fucking kill him. Well, the CIA already wants to fucking kill him. The CIA already fucking hates him.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck him. Just take him out.
And boom,
That's not a bad
JFK
deal.
is dead.
Oh God.
That's so fucked up.
All right.
Is that
Is
inappropriate?
that it?
That is it, boys.
Is that all we have?
That is all we have.
Woo!
So
in conclusion, Bush did
what
it.
happened?
In conclusion, no one's gonna
Bush
ever
did
know
it.
what actually happened.
Well, doesn't more shit become
Yeah,
declassified?
yeah.
And I think there was some shit that was declassified this year, but not all of it. I
Yep,
believe.
Trump's been slowly releasing some ever since 2016. So
Maybe one day we'll have the
Maybe
real
one day.
answer.
Yeah, one day we'll have the real answer to fucking 9/11 too. Keep fucking dreaming.
yeah,
You guys actually think 9/11 was an
Yes.
inside job?
I think 9/11 would have been impossible to have. There's no way it happened like the government says it happens, and I don't exactly know what happened, but I know that much is true.
Bush did it. Bush did the JFK assassination, and Bush
Some-
did 9/11.
Like father, like son.
Oh, I have one more thing to add in that I did see. I think even the Warren Committee and the FBI have all acknowledged this, that like witnesses that are all closely connected, like you can run strings to them, all seem to die in convenient times when they're making statements. They all just seem to conveniently die in weird ways, and I think that's even acknowledged.
Oh
So-
yeah. On that note, yeah, I forgot to bring this up. There's another theory of the Umbrella Man. He's holding a video camera. As the Zapruder film goes out, there's a little glimpse of him, the Umbrella Man. And he's never been heard of. They've never gotten any interviews from him or anything, so it's kind of weird, I guess. Apparently he has a film footage of it, literally, like where he was standing. They say that it would have been directly at where Oswald was sitting. So maybe...
Oh,
yeah.
I think
so.
I did hear
Maybe
about that.
they made him disappear too, if you know what I mean.
Probably.
So that footage never comes out. Who
Who the fuck
knows?
knows?
Government is fucking crazy.
All right. Well, if you've listened this
Craziness.
far, we do have a poll on our website that says, "Who the fuck killed JFK? E. Howard Hunt, Oswald, a Secret Service agent." I put either on there too, but I mean, who else could it be? Could be anybody. Bush did it.
Could be,
Hunt is Bush, by the
could be
way.
a team. Could be a team of people.
My vote's on Bush because Bush does it all.
Bush
I'd
does it
vote
all.
Bush.
God, I wish we could have gotten it. There was so much fucking more to talk about, but I am so goddamn tired and just can't.
Maybe we'll revisit it someday.
JFK
Yeah, we'll bring it
Part
back up.
3.
Maybe. All right.
I forgot to talk about the giveaway too, so I'll probably fucking just like
Yeah, just put something in.
half-ass something into the editing or some shit like that.
Yes, sir.
I don't know.
Yeah, people, there's a giveaway, and it's not Beyblades this time.
Real.
Oh my god.
It's real.
Alright, we went an hour and 30 minutes ish. I can make that into 2. I might have to cut it up somewhere else other than before we get into conspiracy theories. But that is a conversation for tomorrow. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
I have one thing to say.
You didn't say it in the
Taxation is
first part.
theft. Oh no, you got me. You got me. You got
Alright,
me.
boys, I'm so beyond tired. I will fucking see you tomorrow. I will try to have this uploaded this weekend.
All right. Yeah, R.I.P. JFK. We're not trying to bet. Like, we make jokes and everything, but this is very serious. This is a very serious topic.
Bush
Yeah.
did it. Bush did it.
Bush, he killed him. Good job, Bush.
I'm rooting for
That's our
Bush.
second slogan. After taxation is theft. Bush did it.
Bush did it.
Bush did it all.
All right.
He probably did.
Probably did. All right. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Peace out, listeners.